What's up, guys? I'm not in the usual filming loco. Um, I'm actually at the other end of my room. Back there's my desk. This is my bed. Um, because I felt like it. Um, also there's better lighting. I don't know if it's actually better. I feel like it washes me out properly, but I've got hot chocolate. Um, basically, what I wanted to come out. I haven't posted it in ages. Because no one was fucking watching them, but actually I didn't expect anyone to watch them anyway, so semantics, whatever. I wanted to talk about the Magnus archives. It's like a horror podcast on Spotify. Um I don't know when they started it, probably like a while ago. Um but yeah, it's because my older sister, she had like a massive hyperfixation on it. And whenever she's like hella autistic, that's not rude by the way, guys. It's just a fact. She is autistic. Um, but and whenever she gets really into something, she like needs me to care about it as well. And usually I don't, because it's like fucking musicals or some like random fucking TV show from the 2000s. Like what? Um, but yeah, I she was telling me about the Mindless Archives, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll listen to it. 200 fucking episodes, like a million hours of my life wasted. I haven't even finished it. I'm on like one. I'm on like 193 or something because I actually don't really care how it ends. Spoiler alert, I don't like it. And I know it's good, but it gets bad. I feel like the last season, is it season 4? It's just shit. Like, I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry, Jonathan. Like, Johnny. Whatever the fuck people call him. Because, yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Sims, but it's bad. Um, the first part of it is actually really good. Like, I was invested. Like, episode 2, Do Not Open, with Joshua Gillespie. Everyone in the fandom loves Joshua Gillespie. Because he was got like given a coffin, it said "Do Not Open" on it, and he didn't open it. So like he didn't, like, the supernatural shit didn't get to him. Um, for you guys specifically, my friends who I actually don't know watching this, who could be watching this, um, no, I will not explain what the fuck the Magnus Archives are to you. I don't care. Um, so yeah, but I was like listening to it and I was like, yeah, I like this. This is good. I didn't necessarily like all of the characters. Most of the characters actually genuinely annoyed me. I'm not a woman hater, but all the women, I'm sorry. Um, like Becerra and Daisy especially. Like grinding my gears. Melanie? Melanie. Melanie also really annoyed me. Um, especially, what was the fear that like controlled her? Was it like the desolation? No, not the. It was the different one. It was like the war one, and she was just like pure angry 24/7. And for what? I'm getting up the wiki, um, with all the list of the fucking avatars. Um, it will let me fucking scroll. Jesus Christ. Um, yeah. Yeah, because Daisy was like, turned out she was part of the hunt. Because the whole time I was wondering, why is this bitch so murderous? Like, why is this bitch gunning for a police brutality lawsuit? Um, but yeah. Um, no, I don't know what the fuck Melanie was an avatar for. But then she blinded herself, so she wasn't even part of the eye anymore. And then her and what the fuck's her name? What is that bitch's name? John's ex-girlfriend. Um, Georgie. Yeah. And then she was with Georgie, who like doesn't feel fear. that was so random because like that it kind of came out of nowhere. Like she told a story and she was like, yeah, since that day I've never felt fear anymore. And all she did was like, I actually don't know, can't remember what she saw, but it didn't even seem that traumatic compared to like everyone else in the fucking world. Um, so I don't know why her specifically. I thought it was a bit of a cop out. Like, how else can we make someone immune other than blinding themselves? And they're like, they can't feel fear. Like, and then they don't really know how to implement that, really. Um, but yeah, it's a it's a cool concept because then they like start a cult or whatever in the tunnels, the fucking tunnels. My favorite was, is it season 2? John, he's like really paranoid and does the supplementals, and he's like, supplemental, I broken to get to his flat. Um, he's like, supplemental. I followed fucking Tim home. Poor Tim, honestly. Actually, let me talk about the characters I like and dislike. Sasha, I thought she was quite nice, but we barely fucking see her because then she gets taken over by not Sasha. Um, Also, that was so obvious. I'm not trying to be like, I'm so big brain. I knew the fucking plot twist, but like, I knew, I knew that fucking spiral table, um, fractals, um, but yeah, and I was like, this is not fucking Sasha. Like what? Um, and then so she's barely even there, like at all. Tim, I liked Tim kind of. Um, when my sister first told me about it, she was like telling me about how they were like shipping like a guy's ship, and then they actually made it canon. It because John and Martin are like actually canon, but I forgot who she told me John was shipped with. So for a while, I thought it was with Tim, like because I was like, this becomes canon, John and Tim. But I actually kind of liked it, but because I didn't like Martin. Um, but yeah, no, I was wrong, obviously. Because then Tim, he was a guy he downfalled. Men and their downfalls. I, I don't want to say this because I'm gonna make a comparison, and it's not really comparable because one of them committed incest, but it's comparable to the downfall of Charles Macaulay, a la The Secret History. Is that bad? Because Charles was like the chill, nice guy. He was a bit. He got along with everyone. Like that's literally what he said in the fucking book. But then the murders and Henry fucking got to him, and then he was like evil, like an alcoholic, drunk driving, getting sent to jail, fucking his sister. We don't know how long the incest went on for. That's like, because I feel so bad for fucking Camilla. The women, my heart goes out. Anyway, I'm not talking about the secret history, but you know, it's the downfall of the nice guy because suddenly Tim was all just like, I gotta avenge my brother. Like, why do they all have tragic fucking backstories? Like, is that like a requirement to be fucking hired there? That you have to have a tragic backstory? Like, fucking how so Elias can like mind control them like he did with Martin and Melanie and just like bring up their fucking trauma. Same with Daisy. Because he's just like tells them about their fucking life story. He's like, yeah, and your mum fucking hates you, by the way. Like, literally. He pulls the your mum card on Martin for like absolutely no fucking reason. Whatever. Anyway, Elias, a lot of people love Elias, a lot of people hate him because he was mean to Martin and he's like actually evil. But whatever, whatever. I'm talking about Magnus, is a Jonah Elias, not like the actual Elias who is just like a stoner with daddy issues and like no free will. I don't really care about him that much. But she whatever. But yeah, I was like actually really interested in Jonah Magnus as a person before we found out that he was actually Elias and before we even found out about all the fears. Because I was like, who the fuck would start this institute? He seems like an interesting guy, but no, he's just like controlled by the eye. whatever, whatever, whatever. He's got a voyeurism kink. Do I look like I care? But yeah. So, oh my god, what the fuck was I talking about? Genuinely. Yeah, I was talking about Elias. A lot of people don't like him because he was mean to Martin, but I actually don't really like Martin, like, at all. Um, he's just such a wimp. He's just like, but that's like his whole thing, and like, of course people love him. He's the kind of person that everyone loves. I fucking hate him. That's a bit harsh. He's never done anything that I like or care about. I don't know what the fuck John sees in him. I don't know what the fuck Martin sees in John, actually. Like, oh yeah, they're a sweet couple because they say sweet things to each other. But actually, fundamentally, there's nothing there. There's no chemistry. Um, so I don't really get the ship, to be honest. Even though it's like actually canon, I just like, yeah, it's amazing that they have like they have actually canon gay ships, because then they also have Georgie and Melanie as like the little lesbian queens, immune from the eye. But yeah, I just gay people. Yeah, and Tim's bi. I appreciate that. Actually, I don't know if he is bi. No, because wasn't there a line that he's fucking like two people on the police force, like a guy and a girl? Um, because that's iconic. That's iconic behavior. I love a bicon. Me myself, I'm a bicon, obviously. Um, who else would I be? Oh my god, this is coming up here. I'm joking. Um, but yeah. Oh, you know the character I actually really need to talk about. Fucking John. Fucking the alchemist. Ah. Um, so yeah, he's such a bitch. Like, you're such a bitch, man. Um, literally like sassy man apocalypse. You're part, like, it's not the fucking eye apocalypse, it's the fucking sassy man apocalypse, because you Jonathan Sims, you gay asexual bastard. You orphan. He's a fucking orphan. Of course he is. Tell me not all orphans aren't him. Is he an orphan? That'd be really embarrassing if he actually isn't. But he was raised by his grandma, so either his parents just fucking didn't want him or they're dead. So either way, either way. Um, but yeah. I liked him. I actually really liked him at first. I'd be like listening to the statements in like season 1 and being like, I can't wait for his little fucking sassy comments of like, this is not grounded in reality at all. You know? And his like really fucking posh, needlessly posh voice. I appreciate it. Also, everyone in this fucking thing sounds so posh. It's quite jarring. Not jarring, but I'm like, where the fuck are the people who talk normal? Where are they? I probably sound kind of posh. I actually don't know. Or what, or what, or what. But yeah. He's like, yeah, I liked him at first. And then he's like all angsty and like really paranoid. I liked his paranoid season 2 era. I feel like everyone does. Because it's pure comedy, but not, because he's like supplemental. I'm in the tunnels. And everyone finds that fucking hilarious because it is. So yeah, but also you're like you are blind to the fact that Sasha is not Sasha, and you're out here accusing fucking Tim when Elias is right there. Like, just, I swear to God, talk to that blick for 5 fucking minutes and tell me he is not evil and orchestrating everything and able to see all. Tell me, literally tell me, because you can't. Like, literally the way he fucking talks is like an evil mastermind and you were not suspicious of that motherfucker. You're just like, oh, it's my annoying boss who won't let me get fucking CO2 canisters for the basement because there's a worm infection. What? Yeah, anyway. Okay, so, and then, because, like, there's the whole season 4 thing where he's like, it's just him and Martin in the fucking apocalypse, and he's like, ooh, sad boy, he's like, I have to record my statements. Oh my god. Jonathan Sims, stop accosting people in the middle of fucking cafes and being like, would you like to give a statement? Like, this man! Sorry. I actually don't know where that came from. But dead ass, when that woman came in to make a statement about John, being like, he came up to me and forced me to give a statement. I fucking hate him. Like, please, this man needs a reality check. And stop acting like he's fucking important. He isn't. He is. But it could have been anyone. Literally, Elias could have chosen anyone to become the archivist. And he chose you. So, like, be grateful. Actually, don't. I mean, poor guy. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But yeah, like, fucking shit and shit and shit. Oh yeah, I was saying about season 4 when he's with him and Martin and they're just being all lovey-dovey and like not lovey-dovey because it's the apocalypse and they're like walking through the wastelands and like all the different things and he's just like, the grass itches, like, you know, making the statements of like what are they called, lamentations on blah 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 blah. I actually don't know if they say that. But I like the word lamentations, and I'm definitely saying it wrong. So it's whatever. Oh my god, why do I... This is the issue when I try and stay on topic of something. I forget what topic I'm on. Yes! And then when they finally get to London in the tunnels with Georgie and Melanie, and immediately, as soon as he's around people who aren't suffering or Martin, he's so fucking mean to them. Like, he shows up and he's just making these fucking, like, offhanded, backhanded fucking comments. Like, shut up. I would give you an example. I can't remember. And then Melanie is just, they're like, shut up, John. That's one thing I do rate you for, Melanie. You don't like John. And it's your right to not like John. Why does everyone else fucking like John so much? He's awful. He's mean. He's reading your mind. And he's lying about it. He's not, I made that up, but yeah. So, and you've got this whole like moral bullshit going on. It's like, I actually don't care. Actually, I do not care. So, so yeah. And I'm like, yeah, Melanie, I don't like you either, but please, it's fully in your right to just dislike John. I hope she stays disliking him, even after he ends up saving the world. I actually don't know if he saves the world or not yet, because I haven't actually finished it. But I also don't entirely care if they all die, or just continue to live in that fucking fearscape, so, yeah. And that's what I have to say about that, honestly. Oh yeah, and when it's episode 190, I have issues with it. It cringed me out listening to it, because you've got Martin and Melanie having like a little couples chat about how hard it is to be in a new relationship during the fucking apocalypse. Like, shut up. And then Martin is like making all these fucking twinky ass comments. Like, he sounds so gay. Because he's just like, tell me about it. He's like, I know. Like, who are you? Why do you sound so gay? You're not a twink. Stop acting like it. Because he isn't. So why do you insist on fucking talking like one? Yeah, sorry about that. My voice is going. But yeah. Now I've ranted about everything I fucking hate about the characters, and season 4 is so shit. It loses the magic of the previous seasons. Not that the previous seasons had magic, but they had like a certain grasp to it. And then after that, it's just like, and the world is controlled by it gets too big. I feel like it gets too conceptual, and I stopped caring. Um, Now I'm gonna talk about the characters that I actually like. There are not that many. Agnes Montague. I love that woman. She's oh, she was raised to become like the savior for the cult of the lightless flame, and she's just so beautiful, and she's got her red hair, and that guy in the coffee shop is so relatable because yes, I'm in love with her too, and I don't like anyone else from the Desolation. I dislike Jude immensely. um she's also in love with Agnes, but who isn't? Yeah. And then she has them hang her because she doesn't think, because of doubt, because she doesn't think she can actually create the thing, and she thinks if I go out, maybe my it's a whole thing. It's very heartfelt. It isn't. It's the Desolation, mate. But it's Agnes. And then when she saves that guy from Hilltop Road by giving him like a little kiss on the cheek, and that like burns him, and then he realizes and he like gets away from the web. I just I just love it. I love you, Agnes. I love you. I have my own headcanon that she actually, because everyone is always like, she's really quiet. We really did not know if she actually liked being our like fucking messiah or not, but she was, because we like birthed her for that purpose, and none of them could like properly raise her, so they just sent her to Hilltop Road. It's like, it's really devastating. um yeah, and she's just so amazing. But my headcanon is that she actually really didn't want this. Like she didn't really care about the Desolation. She wasn't that kind of person. She wasn't that kind of person that was just like mindless violence. She just wanted to live her life and be in love with that coffee shop guy. And that's why she told them to hang her, because she couldn't do it. She was like, no, I don't want this. Kill me, But she made it this whole thing. It's probably not like true, because it's like, but she was born of the fear. Of course she's gonna actually want the fear to take over and whatever, but that's just what I think, and I'm allowed the right to my own opinion. Another person I like, Jane Prentice. um I didn't like her at first, because when she like showed up with all the worms of the industry at like in the industry at the institute, it like cringed me out. And like, do we hear her speak? But because she's like speaking or like, and it that also cringed me out. But her statement was like, is probably one of my favorite statements. I love it. I've like memorized half of it. Um, because also it hints. It's like such spoilers for like what is to come. Because she literally talks about the fears. She says this place of beholding and seeing when referring to the institute, and they are the beholding, and like no one thinks to think about that. And the way she talks about how the hive chose her and stuff, like, it's so. And she even mentions the web. She's like, I'm not one of those fools chasing fractals. And she also says how um something else about the spiders. She's like, the spiders have their own song because they're also the web. Like, it's so like just telling you. And that's one thing I do appreciate about the writing, that it's very thought out. Like, everything's all interconnected, like all the statements can connect to each other, and there's the recurring characters and stuff. That I think is actually good really good. No, a lot of the writing in general is good, especially for the statements and stuff. It's really good, interesting writing. Like you can tell it'd be really fun to write. Like to write those like one-off statements, especially when you're doing something fun, like writing Jane and her like obsession with the hive and stuff and all of that shit. Like that's the fun shit to write, and also that you get to write all the dialogue and not actually any boring stuff like the she said, you know. Um, so yeah. Um, but when it gets like all big and the fears and stuff and the end of the world, I stop caring. And then when they're trying to work in the statements to like the rest of the thing, I think they do it quite cleverly. But because it's like John needs to make statements to like keep him going because he's the archivist. The concept cringes me out, but I get why they had to do it, and it probably other people are fine with it. It's just a me issue. So yeah, there's that. Um, I it just disappoints me because it was so good, and then it just upset me by the end of it. Like it cringed me. Um, and I thought I would like Annabelle Kane, but what I've had from her so far, I don't really care about her at all. Um, who else do I like? I liked Jonah Magnus, but then I found out that he was also Elias, and I kind of liked Elias, and then I found out that he was Jonah Magnus. I I don't know, man. I don't know. You know who I do like? Evan Lucas. We don't hear a word out of him, but he's like the one guy from the Lucas family who doesn't want it, and he goes off and he gets engaged, and his fiance makes. Did they actually get married? I can't remember, but his like ex-wife makes a statement because he dies, and then she goes to the funeral and she's like, "This was weird as fuck," because the Lucas's family is like their whole thing is the lonely, and it's all weird as fuck. But yeah, and I like him because she just described him as like the best husband ever and the best person ever and so nice and so amazing. And like poor guy getting raised in that awful lonely household, when he doesn't even like care, he doesn't even want it. You know who else I like? Jared Key. Everyone fucking likes that motherfucker. And no, I will not be calling him Jerry because I know it's a whole thing in the fandom. Like, oh, he likes to be called Jerry. It's so sweet. Don't care. I'm not calling that motherfucker Jerry in good conscience. His name is Jared. Um, so that's what I'll be calling him. So yeah, Jared, I like that motherfucker, that goth. Him angrily saving people on whilst he's on holiday in fucking Italy. Um, Jürgen Leitner saying he got beat up by an angry goth. It's I appreciate it. I appreciate the Jürgen Leitner bashing because I dislike that man. Extended brutal pipe murder, and that's all I say on the matter. Um, so yeah, I appreciate him. When he made his statement, he was so cunty. He was just like, dead, sir. It's like, who the fuck are you? Um, I appreciate that man. I dislike the fact that he died. All my favorite people are dead. Agnes, Jared, and Jane. Um, so it's upsetting, honestly. Why are all the good people dead? Um, and what? Who? Yeah. I don't really like how he's got like he's connected to the iron stuff. I kind of wished he was not affiliated with anyone. Like, his mum, because his mum wasn't affiliated with anyone. No, because you got the people who are like not affiliated, and that's like Georgie, but that's because she like can't feel fair, so it's kind of irrelevant. And then you've got Robert Smirk with his architecture, um, Jürgen Leitner with his books, and then Mary Key who collects the Jürgen Leitners. Um, I like that concept, but they're all people who thought they were better than the powers and thought they could like harness the power of them or like control them and stuff. And I think it would be good. It would have been cool if Jared was not affiliated with any of the powers, but he like was but unlike his mum, because he fucking hates his mum, like king with mummy issues. Um yeah. Instead, he was like, I'm not affiliated with any of the powers, but I don't claim to know how to control them. I'm just here and I'm just gonna live my life and begrudgingly save people occasionally. You know, I would have really liked that. But no, he like goes off with Gertrude fucking Robinson. I hate that bitch. Don't ask me why. I fucking hate that bitch. Um, and that's all yeah. And that's that. Um, for now. Other people I like, there really aren't that many. No, I really don't know. Oh, when there was that one episode where it was John wasn't there, and it was kind of like a lot of people didn't like this episode, but it was like a compilation of people making like uncoherent statements, and it was like this is what the institute has to deal with when John isn't here to like suck the statements out of people. Is people like that one woman who came in? She was like, aren't you gonna pay me for this statement? I thought you were gonna pay me." But this one motherfucker comes in and he's got like, and he's like, "The spiders, they're after me," and he's like actually losing his mind. And I feel bad for that guy. The web is fucking mean. I don't like the web. They're mean. Yeah. Also, I do appreciate the whole like web, free will, addiction kind of metaphor. I thought that was kind of clever, and then like the lighter with like the web lighter that shows up that makes John want to go out for a cig, and then that's when Jurgen gets smashed. So yeah, I kind of like that. Um, I appreciate um I appreciate that John's a smoker. That point is just important to me for no particular reason. I just I like it. I like smokers. Don't ask me about that because I could not tell you. Um, I think that's actually all I have to say on the matter of the Magnus archives. I do not think anyone has listened to this all the way through. If you have, who the fuck are you? Drop a comment. Sorry, that was so cringe. Um, but yeah. I know a lot of people like it, and I know it has like a really nice fan base. Like the creators are really in touch with the fan base and stuff. Like they have their like writing competition, not competitions, but like you can write a little statement and get it, and they put it into the world. Like not actually, but they make an episode for it. Um, and then they have all their Q&As and stuff. So I feel like it's a really nice fandom. I just do not care for where the story ended up. Not really. So yeah. I appreciate how fun it would have been to write and how well hard effort. Um, because it's all so interconnected and you need to be kind of big brained to think about it. I think why am I like actually noshing off this writer? Um, I actually don't know why I said that. That was a really gross thing to say. Um, yeah. Mm, I cringed myself out. But yeah, cool, whatever. Um, love you, Agnes. Love you, Jane. Sort of love you, Jared. Um, the people who like the fucking distortions, Michael, and what the fuck's her name? Helen. People who fucking like her and him. People who like the fucking distortion. who are you? Why do you exist? Why do so many people fucking like them? Why do people ship Michael and Jared? It's the most random shit I've ever fucking heard in my life. Like, actually, what? What are you like? Huh? It's so random. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But yeah. Um, and that's also people who ship Elias and Peter Lucas. First of all, I fucking hate you, Peter Lucas. I hate you specifically, constantly, always. He's such a bitch. And not even in a good way. Um, so yeah, I don't get why people ship them and it's such a thing. And they're all like, sorry, I'm just hating on fucking fandom now. Um, because it's because I don't like the characters. I'm not gonna ship any of them together because I just dislike most of them. I don't think any of them have like actual chemistry because they're too busy caring about the end of the world to flirt with each other. You know? That there's no fucking flirting in this, actually. It's just like all of the relationships, they go straight from just existing and being friends and being nice to each other to being like, I love you, I'll die for you, you know? Like they have no chemistry, tension, flirting. Um, yeah. It is a fucking horror podcast, so I don't know why I care about their interpersonal relationships, but other people do, so I think I have a right to as well. This is getting so long. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I think I repeated myself about a million times. Um, I think it's good, it's fine, it's whatever. Now I'm repeating my end section because last time I did an end section, I went off on a rant about the shipping. What am I on? Also, I never drank any of my hot chocolate and it's going cold now. I've got this big ass mug of hot chocolate and I was gonna drink it whilst I was talking, but I was too busy fucking talking. Because I don't like taking a breath from my tongue to drink. It's annoying. Okay. Now I'm gonna end up so I can carry on drinking my fucking hot chocolate. Peace out. I might make another video today because I have more to say on other subjects, maybe. Probably not. Don't listen to me. I'm gonna start a thing where I like listen to like not engages with pieces of media. Um and then talk about it. Spoiler alert, I'll probably dislike most of it. Because I'm a cynic. But yeah. Those are my thoughts on the Magnus archives. Yeah.